Ricky Cool here with another video in my Mississippi saxophone series, and this time we're going to look at the wonderful solo that Al Sears plays on the Big Joe Turner recording Flip Flop and Fly, which was a big hit record and a sort of a crossover rhythm and blues stroke rock and roll recording that Big Joe Turner did. Now, the song is in the key of B flat, so to play with the song you're going to need an E flat Richter tuned diatonic playing in second position. So I'm going to go through the licks and transpose them to the harmonica using my E flat harmonica, but then I will switch them to a C harmonica so that we're then playing in the key of G, and we'll try and apply the licks and sort of see how they work with some blues backing tracks. Okay, so the first thing we need to do though is have a little listen to this solo. Here we go.
Believe me, don't ever say goodbye.
Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but the opening of his solo, the four notes at the start when he brings the solo in are the same four notes that the band plays as their riff at the end of Joe Turner's vocal. And I think that makes a great way of bringing the solo in because it really unifies it with what's gone before. And those four notes are really important in this solo because they appear as a lead into the 4 chord and also as a lead into the 5 chord. So what's he doing? He starts on 7 draw and goes to 6 blow. Now that's going to need a little bit of practice first because it's not a natural sort of harmonica move. And then you're going to go 4 draw, 4 blow. Now you can do this lower down the harmonica, and we might make use of that later on, but I'm going to focus on playing it in the sort of slightly middle to upper range of the harmonica. And in that first lick, you finish on 3 draw. So let's go back to the start of the solo and break down the solo lick by lick. Here's the first lick. Really, I love the way that it sits with the swinging groove that the band have, and I think that little bit of space is really important as well. Now let's transpose that now to my C harmonica. So there's my starting note, 7 draw. The first backing track I'm using here is from my backing tracks of choice, MCCD sessions, and this is Street Shuffle in G. So you can see that really sits nicely with that sort of groove. Let's try it with a slightly different groove now. This is a funk blues backing track. Okay, I know I can make this work, but obviously you can see that it perhaps doesn't sit quite as well there, but we'll come back to this in a bit. Let's move on to the second lick, coming into the 4 chord. Okay, we've got our first 4 notes, but now we go to the 3 draw, bent down a half step. Now why is that important? Well, the 3 draw bent down a half step gives you the 7th on the 4 chord. Here's the 4 chord. Okay, so that's a 7th chord, and that last note was the 3-draw half step. So that's why it fits so nicely with that little change into the 4 chord in the 12-bar blues sequence. Now the lick that follows, the 2-draw is on the saxophone is almost not there. It's what we call a ghost note. And then we get, now that is a bit tricky on the harmonica. 4-draw half step, well, 4-draw bent, and then to the 4-blow to the 3-draw half step, and then 4-blow 3-draw half step. So a much more friendly way of doing that is to get that 4-draw half step and then bend it down a little bit more, and then go to the 3-draw half step, and then the 4-blow 3-draw half step. So let's put that now on the C harmonica. And that scoop bend on the last note is really important. Right, let's put this second lick now in with the street shuffle backing track. It just really sits in well with that sort of a groove. Okay, let's see if I can make it fit with the funk track coming into the 4 chord. Okay, and a little funky addition there. Going back to Big Joe Turner for the final lick of the solo. You get the basic lick and then it's extended. And that use of the 3-draw half step and the 4-draw half step again is very important for the way that it suits the 5 chord and the 4 chord. So let's now switch that to the C harmonica. And try it against the street shuffle. Again, it just really works well. And don't forget, you can use 3-blow instead of 2-draw sometimes if you want to with these licks. And against the funk groove. So having broken down the solo and looked at the various licks that Al Sears plays, the fun part comes when you try and really use some of the ideas from the solo and mix them up, move them around a little bit, develop them, embellish them, and put them in the context of the track you're working with so that you end up with something of your own. So let's see what I can do just off the top of my head with the street shuffle in G. and so on. Now, I can tell just by what I was playing there, some of the licks I tried felt better than others, but that's the whole point of the practice session. Let's go to the funk blues backing track and see what we can do. And with that one, because of the groove, I have to sort of really change my approach to my playing to fit in with that particular groove. So there we are. I hope you found this useful. It's a great solo. Do listen to other Big Joe Turner records as well. Shake, Rattle and Roll. There's a whole load of them. And you'll find some great solos in there from some of the wonderful rhythm and blues tenor sax players that there were around then. I'll see you again soon.